What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Guys, it's literally like 2:02 right now, my time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. I'm obviously in Central time, but Eastern time, 3 o'clock Eastern time is over, which means the trade deadline is officially over. Now, there's more trades that are going to be called in. So if I don't have every trade on here, don't worry about it. I have tried my best to do every trade in this My League file that I told you guys about earlier today, and I will have my phone in front of me just in case there's more trades. But looks like the only trade I won't have on here is, there's possibly more to come, but Jabari Bird has been sent to Atlanta from the Celtics. Not a big deal. So obviously more trades can happen, but let's go ahead and just talk about all the trades that happened today. I even did buyouts, so we're gonna just start. This was the first trade. I did a video earlier with Harrison Barnes and King, so if you've not watched that one, I talked about these trades, so I'm not going to talk about them again. But this first trade, this one confused me a little bit. Jason Smith, Stanley Johnson, 4 second-round picks. There's actually 4 involved going to the Pelicans. It said something about the Pistons being involved in that trade too, but I never did find out what the Pistons got. Unless if that Thon Maker Stanley Johnson trade got combined into this, I have no idea. But nonetheless, Jason Smith and Stanley Johnson are definitely heading to New Orleans for Nikola Mirotic. Ian Clark was not in the deal. I just had to throw him in. You'll notice that in a lot of these trades, I had to throw him in the deal just because 2K will not let you trade him. So I'm just going to check my phone. I'm not missing anything. Nothing is happening. I'm going to keep it right in front of me, guys. So if you see me looking at my phone, trying to make sure I don't miss any trades. So yeah, the Bucks add another nice shooter around Jonas Valanciunias. Not a bad deal at all. We all saw what Mirotic did for Anthony Davis last year. He swept my Portland Trailblazers. So the Pelicans did anyway, and they did pretty good with Mirotic. So next trade, these are not in order at all either, but this is another trade that happened. Mike Muscala is heading to the Lakers for Michael Beasley and Zubac. Okay, I thought I had another trade, but it's just someone texting me. And Sindarius Thornwell was not in the trade. Keep that in mind. I had to throw him in because it wouldn't let me trade him. So Michael Beasley and Zubac heading to the Clippers. I will get into it later, but the Clippers are waiving Michael Beasley, and then the Lakers get Michael Muscala as a shooter. Clippers get maybe a decent starting center. I'm sorry, I keep looking at my phone, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything. So possibly at their own risk are part of the Anthony Davis stakes beyond the 2019 trade deadline. So Anthony Davis was not traded, obviously. I would probably be talking about that first. But like I said, Zubac gonna be a nice starting center for the Clippers potentially. I don't know. They're going to have to figure out whether they want to start Montrezl Harrell or Zubac. So, minor trade. The Blazers traded Flanagan for Scalabissiere. So, I don't know. Grizzlies traded Shelvin Mack for Tyler Dorsey. And then Grizzlies also made a trade for Avery Bradley. Milos Teodosic was actually waived by the Clippers. He was not in this trade. Garrett Temple, JaMychal Green for Avery Bradley. Here's the big one, obviously. Jonas Valanciunias, CJ Miles, Delon Wright, and a 2022 second-round pick for Marc Gasol. Tyler Dorsey and Javon Carter were not in the trade. Once again, I had to throw them in as fillers, or it wouldn't let me do the trade through 2K. So, Jonas Valanciunias going to the Grizzlies. CJ Miles going to the Grizzlies. Obviously, the 2 big pieces for the Grizzlies, I think, are Jonas and Delon Wright. I don't know how big of a future the Grizzlies have for Jonas Valanciunias and Delon Wright. I know Valanciunias has a player option after this year. Gasol, obviously, the Raptors are going all in, which is the video we're doing today. And then you gotta feel bad for these two. Nick Stauskas and Wayne Baldwin. They got traded from the Blazers to the Cavs to the Rockets, and then the Rockets to the Pacers. The Rockets traded him to the Pacers, and then the Pacers waived him, but I didn't see the point of trading Nick Stauskas and Wade Baldwin to the Pacers just for them to waive him. And then second round James Ennis got traded. It was like one of the first trades of the day. James Ennis got traded to the 76ers for a second round pick. I don't know which one it was, but Amir Johnson, no, was not in the trade. Clippers waived Marcin Gortat and Michael Beasley, like what I said earlier. And then here's another big one. I think this is probably the second biggest trade of the trade deadline. Markelle Fultz for Jonathan Simmons and a first-round pick and a second-round pick. Interesting. And then the Knicks also waived Wesley Matthews, and there's also reports that the Knicks might waive Enes Kanter. So, obviously, we just got to look at this team now. I don't know what this means for Serge Ibaka and Pascal Siakam. I don't know which one's going to the bench or whatever. It's kind of weird. I don't know what they're going to do with them because I like Siakam and Serge starting together. We'll have to see what they want to do with them. But for 2K, I'm going to go, just a 9-man rotation. They want to do this rotation. So Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, Siakam, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Fred VanVleet, Greg Monroe, and Norman Powell. So this is the this is a rotation we'll be doing. So not really too mad about it at all. I'm going to go ahead and say an OG Anunoby to the G League, but I've talked so much this first season. Obviously, the Raptors are going all in, man. That's basically what this, and Marc Gasol has a player option after this season as well. So we'll have to see what Marc Gasol wants to do with that player option. But the East definitely got better. That's the theme of this trade deadline. The East, we're all in a bidding war together, basically trying to acquire the best piece to push them over the edge as far as the Eastern Conference is concerned. But I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of guys. Obviously, we are in the playoffs right now. The Raptors have the 1st seed. The Hornets have the 8th seed. And I also did read something that the Hornets are expected to buy out Frank Kaminsky. So, I mean, good, I guess. The Hornets did strike out in getting Marc Gasol, so that's kind of unfortunate. But Kawhi Leonard has been re-signed. Let's go. It gave me the opportunity to do it, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Why not? So Kawhi Leonard, going to try to keep this team together, basically. This really isn't much of a rebuild than it is just kind of a keep this team together, see what happens kind of thing. Toronto is trading Greg Monroe and a 2nd-round pick to Brooklyn. Okay, so that's another trade that just happened. Toronto is trading Greg Monroe. So Greg Monroe should not even be on my roster right now. Sorry, I did not know that. I just found out about it. So Greg Monroe, obviously, he's going to be a free agent, I think, after the season. So I really can't make the trade anyway. But that's something else that happened. So similarly, current round, let's go ahead and beat the Hornets in the 1st round. Hopefully up 2-0, up 3-0. And just like that, we win in 4 games. So I expect, okay, then here's the big matchup. Obviously, these are the 4 superpowers of the Eastern Conference right now. Boston, Milwaukee, Toronto, and Philly. That is the 4 that we're expecting to all see in the 2nd round, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. We can see all 4 of these teams, maybe even one of these teams in the 1st round matching up against each other would be cool. But I'm expecting to see these teams basically match up in the 2nd round. Obviously, Indiana would be a nice, also would be nice as well in that, but you know, Oladipo going down doesn't really help them much. But Wesley Matthews is expected to sign with the Pacers, so I guess that helps a little bit. But I don't remember if I showed you guys the stats, so I'm gonna show you guys again. 20, yeah, I did. Never mind, I did. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Maybe we won't keep Kyle Lowry. Maybe we'll go for something else. But let's go ahead and see if we can beat Toronto in the 1st round, or not Toronto, Philly. 2-0, up 2-0, and then we go up 4-0. And just like that, we are facing Boston, and Milwaukee gets swept. So I guess Nikola Mirotic didn't help them against the Boston Celtics. So Toronto and Boston here. Then we got to worry about Golden State or OKC if we get past Boston. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the the Celtics, I guess I should say. We're up 3-0 on the Celtics. 4-1, 3-2. All right. With this move, Boston opens up. Okay. Boston, with this move, Boston opens up a roster spot, and we'll survey their. Okay, whatever. I guess they trade Jabari Bird, and they can serve, or they can look at the buyout market, which is pretty cool for Boston. But just like that, 4-3. So we do beat Boston in the 1st round, or in Eastern Conference Finals, guys. My head is twisting everywhere. I got so much going on. I'm just trying to worry about all these trades that could be coming out after the trade deadline's already over. But we're facing the Golden State Warriors nonetheless. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Warriors here. Just like that, 2-0. Can we come back in the series? And looks like trading Marc Gasol does not help us get past the Golden State Warriors. But anyway, one thing I do want to say is I think a long time ago I did a Raptors rebuild with Marc Gasol on it. And I actually did trade Marc Gasol for Jonas Valanciunias. It obviously wasn't this exact trade, but this trade has been kind of rumored for a while now. Marc Gasol has been kind of rumored to head to Toronto for a while. It's really not new. I think it's just finally happened. So congrats to Toronto and Memphis for making it happen. And speaking of Memphis, I cannot believe they didn't trade Mike Conley. This kind of I'm sure the offseason could still see us could still see Mike Conley getting traded, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. Just like I said, it's a wait and see game now. Anthony Davis's trades will be going into the offseason. So it's either going to be the Knicks, the Clippers, the Celtics, or the Lakers who are going to get him. And the Lakers are in an awkward situation now because they literally tried to trade their whole roster. And now Anthony Davis is still on the Pelicans. Lakers still have their whole roster, so it's kind of awkward, if you ask me. So draft combine, obviously we don't need to jump into that. But for the NBA draft, I think I want, we got the 29th pick. Kyle Lowry still under contract. And he's going to be free agent after this year. Okay. Serge Ibaka still under contract. Free agent after this year. Fred VanVleet, free agent after this year. Is everybody... Siakam's going to be a free agent too. Whole team is about to be a free agent besides Kawhi. I have to see if Marc Gasol is going to accept his player option. Norman Powell is not a free agent. Davon Carter Not a free agent, or he will be a free agent after this year. So interesting. So we got kind of a retool possibly on our hands coming soon. Jontay Porter going to go ahead and accept that. Qualifying or player options. Marc Gasol does accept. Malachi Richardson. I think Malachi Richardson got traded, if I'm not mistaken. Howard Dorsey. Going to go ahead and just let him go. He's not even supposed to be on the team. I had to throw him in. Danny Green. Still out there now. Let's go ahead and just renounce everybody. Danny Green, let's renounce him as well. We have negative 36 million in cap space. When I look at my salary cap table, though, heading into next year, 63 million. So either we resign guys like Lowry, Gasol, like this team is basically in it for the this year. This is like we got to go all in again. So let's try to retool this team a little bit. Now that we have what we have, Lowry and Fred VanVleet will serve as the point guards, obviously. Shooting guards, Norman Powell could step up. No new trades. I was just making sure. OG Anunoby and Kawhi will run the small forward spot. Siakam and Gasol, Serge Ibaka and Jontay Porter. So Serge obviously the backup center. We need a backup 4 and a starting shooting guard. So let's look for that. Starting shooting guard. Guys like Terrence Ross, bring him back to Toronto. Be too bad. I'm gonna go for that. Toronto, get Terrence Ross. We'll go for that. 9.25 mil for 2 years. Power forwards, like I said, we need another power forward. JaMychal Green, Fareed, Trevor Booker, Beasley. We probably don't even need another power forward, to be honest. But Terrence Ross, obviously going to be our starting shooting guard now, and that's really all we can afford. So going into next year is really when our big rebuild's going to happen, because we're going to have to. Detroit will be among the most aggressive teams intent trying to sign guard Wayne Ellington in the buyout market. Okay, I guess that's good for Detroit. I don't know. I think Detroit should have been more aggressive trying to get a point guard, if you ask me, but whatever. Kawhi Leonard, Siakam, Gasol. So we got those 3 left. Guys, it's kind of win now, or we'll have to just wait and see how much this team changes going into next offseason. So I'm going to go and simulate to the end of next year, and we'll see how we look in the playoffs once again. Guys, we are in the playoffs once again, facing the 7th-seeded Chicago Bulls. Guys, this season should get interesting because I just realized how many free agents we have over the season. I could have re-signed Lowry, Sturge, and all these guys at the contract extension deadline, but I kind of want to take this through a twist. I kind of want to take this team to a different kind of level. So let's go ahead and just simulate this current round. This is basically win now for Toronto, and I could obviously see everything going right for Toronto. This is where I see Toronto going in the next couple of years. They're going to have this team they have this year, and we get eliminated by Chicago in the first round. So that's not a good sign. Otto Porter probably dropped 50 points on us or something. Why did we get eliminated in the second round? Wow, their team is kind of stacked. Low-key, they got John Morant. So, all right, whatever. I guess I'll take that L. But anyway, Toronto is going to be competitive for this season and probably next season. And then, like I showed you, they have a ton of free agents they have to worry about. Lowry, I mean, obviously there's some contract extensions that could be signed by then, but Lowry, I could see them letting Lowry walk, Gasol walk, and then you got to kind of build this new team around Kawhi if Kawhi does resign. It just depends how the Raptors are going to go about all this, but going into the offseason, we have some decisions to make for sure. So I'm going to try not to resign anybody. That's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do that. I think it would make this video more interesting than me resigning everybody and then just having the same team over and over again. Like, that basically wouldn't even be, like, I basically shouldn't even call this a rebuild if I was going to do that. Nick Nurse is still head coach, which is great. NBA draft, and then get the 26th pick. Jontay Porter still on a contract. Terrence Ross. Norman Powell's contract's kind of bad, so I'm going to go ahead and move him. Let's go get JaVale McGee. First round pick. Obviously, we're still kind of in a win now mode with what we got. Thomas Bryant, and we get a second round pick. I got Thomas Bryant earlier today. I'll do it again. Why not? And then rookie signing. Let's see. Obviously, Devon Dotson. Probably not going to get any play time. OG Anunoby's back. Qualifying offers. Javon Carter and Malachi Richardson. Siakam is someone definitely I want to bring back to keep around Kawhi Leonard. And then salary cap table. Negative 98 million in cap space. Go ahead and renounce that. Renounce this. Renounce this. Not Siakam. Fred VanVleet. Serge Ibaka. Marc Gasol, Kyle Lowry, and just like that, guys, we have 53 million in cap space. That is a lot. And like I said, we kind of have to build this new team around Kawhi Leonard. So let's try to do it. Let's just get right into it. So Terrence Ross could still be my starting shooting guard. So we're not rebuilding retooling, I would say. So Kawhi Leonard, OG Anunoby, Jontay Porter could be my starting center possibly. Thomas Bryant is going to be our backup, I guess, and OG Anunoby is going to be the backup small forward. So we need a point guard and a starting power forward, it looks like. So point guards out here, not a whole lot. Conley, could bring him in. Lowry, could bring him back. Jamal Murray, bring him to Canada. I think he's from Canada, so could do that. 23 years old. I mean, I could just go ahead and re-sign Kyle Lowry possibly. There's not a lot of good point guard options out here, I'm not gonna lie. Centers, Gasol, could bring him back, could bring back Siakam, obviously is going to be our starting power forward now that I think about it. So let's go ahead and just give him his contract now. And point guard, so let's go I want to go Jamal Murray to mix it up. Mike Conley and Kyle Lowry are kind of old, so let's go Jamal Murray. Bring him home to Canada. Why not? Let's do it. 4-year, 80 million. Let's give him 80 mil. 4-year, 80 mil. Next to Kawhi Leonard. I don't know how good of a signing this will be, but why not? 80 mil. He dropped 48 points in one game. I'm gonna do it. So just a little bit of a, you know, something new. That way I don't resign the same team. So we get Siakam back, Montrezl Harrell. Like I said, we could get Serge Ibaka back. 30 years old. Marc Gasol's 35. That's why I don't really want to bring him back. And then, so let's go ahead. Once again, this video is not called a Marc Gasol Raptors rebuild, so that's why I'm not resigning Marc Gasol. So hopefully Jamal Murray does not get matched, and he does not. So Jamal Murray, kind of a new addition to the team, kind of different, I would say. So Siakam and Jamal Murray, we kind of filled the void I said we needed to fill. Jamal Murray is going to be our starting point guard. Terrence Ross is our starting shooting guard for now. All for power forward has been solved. So guards, kind of need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the guards, and then center possibly. Do I need to upgrade at center? Jonas Valanciunias, bring him back to Toronto. 28 years old. Serge Ibaka. I could let Jontay Porter start. I might just let Jontay Porter start, I guess. Bertans, bring him off. How much money we have left? We have 21 million, so we can still sign someone pretty dang good. Conley. Do I want to sign Conley for one season? No, not really. I really don't. Reggie Jackson shooting guards. Malik Beasley. Bring Malik Beasley in here as well. 8 mil. Let's give him a 4-year, $8 million deal, or $32.9 million deal. Let's do it. Power forwards. I still want to get pretty decent at the power forward spot as far as backups are concerned. Malik Beasley, sign him, and then get Davis Bertans. I'm cool with that. So like that, we got Malik Beasley, who could be our starting shooting guard instead of Terrence Ross. So kind of retooled this team a little bit. It's kind of a retool, like I said. Jontay Porter, like I said, we still could sign like Tristan Thompson or something if we wanted to. Probably can't. Not. Never mind. No, probably not. All right, so really we're just gonna roll with what we just signed. I know it's not great, but like I said, this is kind of the situation Toronto might find themselves in going into the not next offseason, but the offseason after that, because there's gonna be a lot of free agents on the team. So here is player progression, kind of a new big 4, 5, whatever you want to say. Kind of a young team around Kawhi Leonard. That way, if Kawhi does decide he wants to leave eventually, then he can. So I might stop at the trade deadline. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna simulate to the end of next year. Let's see how this team does now that we've retooled the Raptors. Once again, we do make the playoffs. We are the 5th seed this time around. So, I mean, I think last video I was the 5th seed and we won a championship. So, you know, it could happen. Jamal Murray had 20 points. What a nice addition to the team. Kind of a new, I'm trying to think of the word I want to say, but it just slipped in my mind. But kind of a new wave to this team. Jamal Murray, Siakam, kind of a young team around Kawhi Leonard, which is something the Raptors could be looking towards once all these free agents are off the book. So this is why I kind of wanted to do it the way I did in the video today. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the 5th seeded Detroit, or the 4th seeded Detroit Pistons, I should say. Pistons go up 1-0. We even it up with them. Can we go up 2-1? They are up 2-1. 3-1, 2-2. Let me turn around real quick. 3-2, and we get eliminated. So guys, that's the way the video is going to end. I'm just going to end it here. I probably have another video to do tonight because I have to wake up super early, and I want to get out another video to you guys tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then probably probably Saturday you guys will see a video. So thank you guys so much for watching. The trade deadline was crazy. Let me know if any trades that I may have missed. I don't think I missed any, but let me know. But this is Crushbles, I'm saying peace.